Well, we're joined now in the studio by an attendee of that summit, Agnes Gitau, Director at East Africa Business Network and a partner at GBS Africa, an advisory that advises governments and private sector firms on trade and investment competitiveness. Agnes, thanks for joining us. We know that negotiations have taken time, but what was the final outcome from this summit?
The outcome is not yet. The latest we've had will be 7 p.m. Kenyan time today. So there's still negotiation. It's not a one. Of course, there is a push by the least developed countries that that whatever outcome is beneficial and sustainable for Africa and the other countries. But unfortunately, there's no deal as yet.
What exactly are the leaders trying to achieve? Explain for us how they want the playing field to be leveled.
You know, I think one most important thing is that if we're going to have global prosperity, then we can't have some economies lagging behind, and that's what it is currently. You have developed economies that are so rich compared to partners in developing nations who continue to be poor. And one of the purposes of World Trade Organization is to ensure that trade is competitive for every member state and is also beneficial. So the playing everybody, the developed nations are pushing their agenda, of course making sure that they can access African market, but also the African governments are also saying, look, we want to have the same access to your market. We also, not just for raw materials. Remember, Africa produces, agriculture is a key, it's a primary economy in a part of our world. So they want to ensure that, yes, we continue to export agriculture products to develop economy, but when they're at finished value, not just raw materials.
So, we heard a little bit earlier from President Kenyatta's speech. Which countries do you think are going to benefit the most here? Which ones are we talking about?
You know, for every deal, for every gain Africa gets, I can assure you that developed economies will get 100 times more. I think here it's about the stronger your economy is. I don't think there's going to be any beneficiary who is going to benefit more. I think it also worth to note that Liberia was accepted to WTO yesterday, so was Afghanistan, and also very interesting, Somalia has presented for the first time to be allowed into, for the last 24 years they've never had a government, but for us to see them presenting to be allowed into WTO is quite, application to join the WTO is quite positive.
So, what kind of an impact do you think it will actually have? Are ordinary Africans going to notice a difference in 5, 10, 15 years, maybe?
Whatever outcome, I think what member states are pushing for is we do not have to push for an outcome in Nairobi. What we need to push for is to ensure that we participate in the global trade competitively.
Okay. Agnes Gitau, thank you very much for your thoughts today.